Let's debug this function. We're supposed to take in the input and return a copy of it where every character is doubled. So ABC becomes AA, BB, CC. A becomes AA, and the empty string becomes the empty string. We can code up these examples as test cases and see how this function performs on each of them. So already on the first test case, we got the wrong output. So let's see what's going on. We can trace through our code like this. We go through each line of the code. First, we receive input as a parameter, and that's equal to ABC currently. The next line, we set output equal to an empty string. Then we start a for loop where element is going to take each character in our input string. In this line, we compute whatever element plus element is and assign it to output. So A plus A is going to be AA, and that gets assigned to output. Next iteration of the loop, now element is pointing to B. So we go to compute element plus element, which is BB, and assign that to output. You can already see what the problem is. We've completely forgotten about the A part. The same thing is going to happen in the last loop iteration, which is going to compute C plus C. And when we end the loop, output is equal to CC, which is what gets printed down here. Think for yourselves for a moment how we might solve this. We don't want to replace output. We want to add on to it. So maybe one way we can do that is we can let the right-hand side be whatever output was before plus element plus element. Let's try tracing through again. We start out with output as an empty string. We add AA. So now output is going to be AA. When we move to B, we tack on, we append those two copies of B to what was there before. So now, at the end of the second iteration, it looks like we're forming the correct answer. And now when we move to C, we take what we had before, add C twice to it, and we get the string we're looking for, AA, BB, CC. That's what we think we should get. Let's see how it evaluates on the test case. Okay, it passed that, and let's make sure it passes the other two. We get AA and empty string. Great. There's one other thing wrong with this function, and I would like you to read the prompt one more time, paying close attention to this word returns. Now, our function doesn't currently return anything. Even though it's producing the correct outputs, it's just printing them. It's not returning them. And one case where this might be a problem is we want to capture the output of this function. Say that we run twins on ABC and we want to store that in a variable myString, and then print whatever is there. So we're printing AABBCC inside of this function. But then when we try to store it in myString and print it, well, nothing is getting stored here because nothing is being returned. That's why we get a none down here. So instead of just printing output, let's try returning output. Let's make sure it still passes all our test cases. Okay. All right, so those still pass. And now when we run this line, we won't see anything because we're no longer printing inside the function. But let's make sure that we get, okay. So we're successfully assigning the output to myString, and we're able to print myString. So this is the complete solution.